Hello guys, I hope everybody is doing good and thank you very much for joining in for this session which talks about the FRM Level 1 last 10 day strategy. Okay, but before we start, can I get a quick confirmation on the chat section that if you can hear me properly? सबको मेरी आवाज clearly आ रही है? Give me a quick confirmation on chat. Right? I hope everybody is able to see me, hear me, and see the screen properly. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so the last 10 days for your FRM level 1 preparation. Okay, now I'm explicitly talking from the perspective of the 11th of May. Okay, that's where the exam starts. Okay, so how many people have exam on 11th, the first day? How many people have exam on 11th? I will be answering the query also. If you have any query, please put it on the chat section. So Pratik, answering to your query, the expected score to pass the exam. Okay, that should be ideally, expected score should be ideally between 55 to 60. Okay, obviously the more you go towards 65, okay, the better your chances of clearing the exam. Okay, but this is the normal range, okay, that you see for the exam. So if you're in the mocks also, ideally in the mocks you should be able to score above 60. In the mocks you should be able to score 60 above. That will give you good perspective of clearing the exam. Okay, because in the actual exam you might find certain difficulties, so the score slightly comes down. Okay, so coming to the broader strategy that we should be focusing on with respect to the exam. Okay, so suppose we are standing on 31st, right? Second, what is today's date? Yes, 30th. So first is where I'm standing. Okay, the 1st of May, and I'm assuming that the exam is on 11th of May. Okay. Then from that perspective, we are going to be focusing on what should be your strategy for preparing for the exam. If you have not given a mock, okay, so this is going to be a first scenario. If you have not given any mocks, okay, then start your revision. Okay, say take first 2 days, 3 days to revise. Okay, give one mock on say around 4th. Okay, 4th ko you can give first mock if you have not solved any mocks from that perspective. Okay, there will be a lot of students who are just preparing and they've just completed reading and they've just completed solving. So that's okay. Try to give at least 2 mocks. Okay, so 4th mock, 4th you are going to give any institute mock, any of the institute where you're preparing for the exam. So 5th and 6th you can again do one more full revision, and on 7th you can give the second mock. Okay, this can be your GARP sample paper. Now 2023 and 2024, I think so you'll find a lot of similarities. So any of the one, either 2023 or either 2024, that's okay. Give the exam, mock exam, and do it properly. And then in the last 8th, 9th and 10th, okay, these 3 days, focus only, okay, on looking at important concepts. So there is a video that I had already uploaded on YouTube, important concepts. So read those important concepts properly. Make sure that whatever kind of questions that can come in the exam, you're comfortable with that. Focus on the formulas for these exams or for the topics, and whatever questions, okay, or whatever concepts that got tested in these 2 mocks, okay, at least make sure that you revise those concepts once again. Okay, whatever mistakes you made, just revise those mistakes once again. Okay, do only reading in the last 3 days. Focus on 2 mocks, that is more than enough if you have not done any till now. So do not panic, 2 mocks and go for the exam. If suppose you've already done the mocks, if you have already done, okay, how many mocks people have, you guys have already solved? Can I get some numbers? How many mocks you have solved till now? So on an average, how many mocks people have completed till now? Okay. One. What about others? Two guard papers. 4, 5. Okay, 5 mocks. Only one. 4. A lot of people have done 4 mocks. Okay. 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 So if yes, 2 guard papers. Now, if for example we are starting on 1st of May, and if suppose you've already solved 1 or 2 mocks, then what you should be doing is divide the entire time frame. Okay, so we are talking about 11th of May exam. Huh? So divide the entire time frame 5th till 5th of May. Okay, try to do 2 more mocks. Okay, now why am I squeezing 2 more mocks in those 2 times, in those 5 days? If you have already done, if already completed 2 mocks, then you should be doing this. If you have already completed 2 mocks, then in the first 5 days, try to complete the 3rd mock, okay, and the 4th mock. The reason I've squeezed everything into 5 days, because now your time to revise the content is going to be much more smaller. Okay, analyze the mock properly. I'll be talking more about analysis of mock also as we go ahead. Okay, but do 3rd and 4th mock, and then from here, okay, what you can do is you have 4-5 days properly, go to each chapter. Okay, look at all the questions that you solved, all the questions that you have solved. Okay, go through them quickly, identify your mistakes. Okay, identify your mistakes, okay, in those question bank that you had already solved when you were doing chapter wise questions. So identify your mistake, then your weak areas, and also identify your strengths. That means, for example, I'm strong in book 3, so identify that. Okay, but go through all the chapters, revise it, and also look at the questions. Okay, so give your last 4-5 days, because there is nothing more to do, because you already solved 4 mock papers. Okay, so by that way you can just go through all the questions properly and look at your mistakes, problems, where you have, go and also look back at your mock papers. You can also check your mock papers and look at what mistakes you made in those mock papers. Analyze your concepts. Which concepts? Look at the concepts, go back to Swagger, Kaplan-Swagger, and read it. Okay, so that is what ideally you should be doing if you've already done 2 proper mock papers. Okay, if you have done only 1 mock paper, I'll just quickly highlight. So we are standing on 1st of May. If you have any query, you can put it on the chat section. If you have only done 1 mock paper, then what you can do is till say 7th. Okay, 7th you can try to complete total 3 mock papers, or you can complete 2 mock depending upon your timeline or how much time you're giving for each mock. So ideally what I recommend is that when you're giving the first mock, you give 2 to 3 days properly to revise. But when you're giving the second mock, give only 2 days. When you're giving the third mock, 1.5 days, because your time to prepare, revise is going to be cutting down. Okay, try to give 2 to 3 mocks. Okay, and then from 7th to 11th, okay, only reading. Okay, then don't worry about anything new. Okay, don't worry about anything new. Okay, so I've also covered that question. I hope everybody is with me till this point. Okay, Where can I get 2023 and 2024 mock papers? It should be ideally there in your GARP portal also. The latest mock papers should be there. So you can check it. If you do not find it, reach us on WhatsApp. In the next 1 or 2 days, we'll share that also to you. Okay. Does GARP mock paper comes in exam? So it is not like that. You cannot say that whatever is there in the GARP sample paper will exactly come. But once you solve it, it is very important to solve. But once you solve it, you get an idea that what is the structure that they ask, what is the pattern that they follow. So it helps you. Okay. So don't worry about this. Next, a few important things to remember in the last 10 days. Okay. First thing, okay, formulas. Somebody is also asking in the group formulas. What you can do is take out, if you have already written the formulas in a book, okay, if not, there is a quick sheet from Kaplan's Vision. You can refer to that. Okay, take a print of that. Okay, every day, daily, morning, afternoon, and evening. Just dedicate 15 minutes to it and just read the formula. Now, don't worry that, oh, I'll forget the formula, because in the last 15 days, 10 days, if you just keep on reading the formulas, you'll remember it. So that should not be a pressure for you. Okay. Next, for each book, and this is very, very important, everybody, for each book, okay, go through just quickly each book and identify which chapter is easy for you, which chapter is medium difficult, and which chapter is difficult for you. Okay. Now the chapters where you find medium difficulty, okay, when you're doing the final revision also, read it 2 times. Okay. The chapters where you find the difficult, the chapter itself is difficult. A lot of people find modeling, non-parallel shift difficult. Okay, I generally recommend key rates, key rate duration. You only focus on that, not worry about forward bucket and all. Okay, so go through the chapter and see which part is actually tough. Okay, when you go and check that, you'll realize that majority of the content is easy, or you might be able to connect something, but there will be 2-3 pages in each chapter which is creating a problem, which is creating a mental block. Okay, so once you have that clarity that, okay, it's only a small portion of that chapter which I am finding difficulty, so when you get a question from that chapter, at least you will attempt. Okay, because if you go with a thought process that the chapter is tough, you might not even pick that question in the exam. Okay, so this is what ideally you should be doing on. Third, from now onwards, okay, don't take pressure, okay, of you not getting an answer for one question. Okay, so 1 or 2 question, or these question is not going to create problems for you, because a lot of people also I see, they are worried about, okay, why I am not getting answer for one particular question. You are more worried about that 1 or 2 concepts. You're not focusing on the overall exam. Okay, so don't take the pressure of one question, okay, or one chapter in the exam. Don't take that pressure. Very simple. Okay, so focus on reading more. When the more Swagger reading you have, the better chances you have in clearing the exam. I mean, reading means also understanding. Okay, so I'll take a pause now. I'll also talk about few more important things, but I'll also address the queries. I'm scared about forgetting the formula. So Dolly, I've answered the query. How do I practice calculation sum during the last 10 days? In the last 10 days, do not solve anything new. Suppose if you're doing only mocks, that is okay, but don't go and solve the chapter wise question. That should have been solved before. Right now, don't solve something new, because you'll face an impact in your confidence level. So I don't recommend that. Okay, should we focus only on GARP papers? No, because see, most of the GARP papers, the questions are repeated. So the first GARP sample paper you solve, you'll find it tough, but the second one, because it is repeated, you will get very good score. Don't do that. Okay, I am strong in theory but bit poor in quant, I think so, right, Pratik? So in the exam, ideally I expect around the last 3-4 exam analysis that I can tell you is that in the exam, ideally 70 to 80% is going to be theory. 70 to 80%, okay? And the remaining one, which is like 30 to 20 question, is going to be quants. And out of that 30 to 20 questions also, generally 50% is going to be straightforward formula. Okay, but rest 50% is tough. Okay, that is what the observation has been. Similarly, roughly 50%, not exactly 50%, 20% or something will be simple question from the theory. That means you have read, you realize what is the answer, you are picking up the solution, you are picking up the option, and you are moving ahead. Okay, but the middle 50% is the medium difficulty, where you will have to stop, you'll have to read the option. Okay, and read the option in the sense that two options will create a lot of problems for you. So when you are in such situation, read the option again. If you're not able to choose, okay, note down that question number, note down which options you are actually finalizing on, go to the next question, come back to that question again with a fresh mind. Okay, this will help you to choose one or two options properly at the end. Okay, and the remaining 30%, okay, is slightly hard, but what happens is you will find, because you have solved the medium questions, the difficult question, the hard question will also become manageable, because you come in that mode of solving. Okay, that's the reason I said ideally you need to have around 55 to 60 correct to clear the exam. Okay, how do we deal with book one? Again, see, book one is more theoretical. You will find very basic theory being given in the exam, but when you go to the exam, what they ask you is, they will ask you questions with respect to if you're a CRO of the company, what will you do? What is the risk culture of the organization? So the questions are more driven that, and they will ask you to read more. The question requires you to read more. Okay, and you will also find that the questions related to the learning from financial disaster, okay, they will club 2-3 case studies. Okay, they will ask you which of the case study has had fraud, and they will give you the name. So you need to know what has happened in the case study. Okay, so by logic, you should not leave that chapter. Okay, do it properly. So this is the broader bifurcation that I feel. Can I skip machine learning? No, I would not recommend that. Again, focus on what part of the chapter you're comfortable with, just go through that. Okay, and the remaining part of the chapter which you find difficult, that's okay, but do not skip the entire chapter. Okay, because I expect around 2 to 3 questions from that 2 chapters of machine learning. How I am going to help in Maha revision? See, in Maha revision, what simply I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up few important topics, okay, from the book, each book. Okay, for example, we are doing first half tomorrow, so I'll pick up the topic. I'll just which certain part, and I'll just quickly talk about it. Okay, few connecting points, or what kind of questions they can ask you in that. So it will help you to revise also. That is what I will be doing from tomorrow onwards. Okay, not every important topic, because it might not be possible for me to do it. The every important part. Okay, the exam strategy to be given on D-Day, simple. On the final day, if there is any query, please put it on the chat section. I'll answer the query. So Ankur, I am answering to your query. What should you do? What should you do on the D-Day? Obviously, you reach half an hour before your time. Okay, now a lot of time is what happened. Okay, this has happened in SCR exam also. Suppose you are early morning slot, 9 a.m. The center might not be open, so don't panic. Okay, the center, suppose they open up at 9:30, so they will give you time from there. So don't worry that, okay, my half an hour is gone. No, it is not like that. Okay, carry the document properly, and your name should match. Name should be exactly equal. Name which you have given to the GARP Institute should be exactly equal to the document. Don't make mistake over there. Okay, this is what you need to basically follow. Carry the calculator. Okay, next, when you reach the exam, so there'll be one small tutorial at the start. what is the exam format, or basically what is the format of the pattern in which the exam will come. They will give you small tutorial. So watch the tutorial and start the exam. Now, when you're solving the questions, this I have already been talking about in one of the session previously. Whichever question you feel in the first 2-3 seconds that I can pick up, okay, go through that question. Which if you find a question very big, very difficult, you're not confident, don't enter right now. Do it at the end. Okay, focus more on what you can get correct, or focus more where you can tackle the question properly. Do those kind of questions at the start. Okay, so you should have a strategy in that manner. And it is not required that you have to solve only from question 1. No, you can start from 100 question also, depending upon what you are comfortable with. Okay. So when you're solving also, so you'll find 2-3 varieties of question. Some question very simple, you analyze the question, you'll be able to find. Some question you enter and you realize, okay, so this is some slightly tricky. Okay, so you try to eliminate the option. So this is going to be your game changer. Huh? Eliminate the option. Always eliminate the option as much as possible. Okay, and suppose you reach at a point that, okay, out of a question number, suppose 30, okay, you realize that only A and B is correct. C and D you are all eliminated, but you're not able to finalize what is A and B. So you will get a rough sheet or a slate. Okay, write down in that question number 30 and write A comma B, because when you come back, okay, at the end, and flag this question, always flag. If you're in doubt, always flag so that you can come back. Okay, you know from where you have to choose. So you will not waste time in reading the C and D option. This is going to improve your score. Okay, do not skip any question, in the sense when you complete your 104 hours, make sure that you choose all the options properly. Okay, do not leave any option. A lot of people do that mistake. They have only selected 70 question, 80 question. They have not selected 20 question. They are definitely going to fail. Very high chances that they will fail. So don't do that. Okay, select the option, even if you're taking a calculated guess, choose and then come out. Okay, so this is one broader strategy that I need to follow. A lot of people, they also do is they say that, okay, I will go for theory first and then I will solve. Okay, it's okay, entirely upon your comfort level, because like somebody said, I'm comfortable in theory and I want to do that first. That's okay. Okay, but while you're looking at solving related question, if you find one question is very simple and clear, plain plug and play, go and attempt that. Okay, go and attempt that. Once you suppose I start from first question till the end, till the 10th question. Okay, sorry, 100 question. Once you've completed all of that, when you've reached 100 question, go back and see all the flagged question. Okay, and have a note of those flagged questions. That means how many questions you have flagged. It could be say 20, 30 questions. You should have that understanding, because when you come out, it will give you some clarity that, okay, 70 questions, suppose I flagged 30, 70 questions is something which I was very confident on and I chose the option in the first case. Okay, then out of that 30 also, you just quickly go through all the 30s and see, can you reduce the number of flags? Okay, because you went again, you just analyze the option and you chose one option, and then again see how many flags were left. Okay, say around 7 flag, 8 flags. So you know, when I did the second round, okay, I was able to reduce the number from 30 flags to only 7 and 8. And then you go and do the third round again. Okay, and then choose the final answer for those 7 questions. Okay, I hope till this point everybody is with me and everybody is getting help in this session. Okay, any query, that please put it on the chat section. Should we give any gap between the mocks? Yes, ideally, Paras, you should be having gap between the mock, because you need time to read the new content or read the chapters again, and you need time to do analysis of the mock. I'll be talking now about the analysis. Okay, Pratik sir, what is the confirmation email that I have to print? So scheduling email. So when you have scheduled the exam, you must have got an email. Take the print of that. Revision can be attempted at self-paced. Yes, you can do it later on. That's okay. It will be there on the YouTube, so you can do it later on. Till your exam date, it is there. Okay. I hope everybody is with me. Any other queries, guys? How do you analyze the mock? Okay, once your end you have done the end of the mock. Okay, you can take 10-15 minutes break and then again come back and see number of correct questions. Okay, and when you're looking at correct questions, just quickly go through that and see if any of those correct questions was a guess. Okay, guess mark. Okay, so analyze on the correct question, see how many questions you had more confidence. Okay, you had confidence, and how many questions were guesses. Just do that very basic simple analysis. Okay, then obviously which question went wrong. Now over here you have to go back to the textbook and see which concept it is. Read the concept again. Okay, if you want, you can make a pointer. Okay, next in your sheet that okay, this is something which I made a mistake, I do not want to repeat. So make a pointer somewhere in your sheet and you can just have a look at it, okay, later on when you're revising. Third, if there are any questions that you flagged, okay, go back to those questions, even though right or wrong, just flagged, go back to those questions and do full analysis. In the sense, why did I flag this question? What was something that was not comfortable in that question? So you basically do deep dive into that. A lot of people, what they do is they only focus on this. They say, okay, I got only 4 corrects, I got 45 right, I got 60 right of the mocks. No, that is okay. But see, anybody who is getting 45, 50 does not mean that you are going to fail in the exam. It is not like that. See, if you go through my interviews that I've posted on YouTube, I've seen people who have got 46 in the mock and they gave only 1 mocks and they've cleared the exam. I have seen people who have not given any mocks and still they went for the exam and they've cleared the exam. So mocks just give you an idea where you're making mistakes so that you can improve on it. It is not the final exam. Okay, so don't defeat yourself in the mocks itself that okay, I'm getting only this much, that means I'm going to not going to pass the exam. That is not true. Okay, that is not true. Okay, so ideally you should be looking at mocks in this way. Any particular queries, guys? For calculation, as you have said, do not attend any new one. Do we have any test which is only for calculation with basic formulas? No, right now in my question bank also I do not have a specific section with only question calculation part, but that's a very good suggestion. For the upcoming exam, we'll definitely add this. Okay, Dolly, answering to your query, for when you're saying test, that means the question bank. So you have gone through all the videos and all, and now you have also solved the chapter wise question. That is right. So you don't need to go back and solve the chapter wise question right now. Okay. Ankur, 17th May is the exam date, so it is good time, proper time. So don't worry. You can do proper revision. Even if you have not solved mock papers, you can start it now and you can give 4-5 mocks easily. Okay, and you can do your final 2 times final revision also for the exam. So I think so you have good amount of time for the exam, so don't worry. Anybody else? Any specific queries that you have for the exam? All good? So do not take any pressure. Okay, do not worry that okay, I'm forgetting things. It is with everybody who is preparing for the exam. Okay, go the exam with an open mindset that I am going to clear the exam. Okay, have that thought process in mind from 1st of May. Okay, visualize yourself that the day, whichever day you have the exam, visualize that you're going to pass the exam. The exam is going to be very good. Okay, and the paper is going to be very good. Go with that thought process. Okay, and you will see that the result or the paper is going to be very smooth for you. You'll be able to answer a lot of questions. You'll be more confident, okay, when you go to the exam. That is what I would recommend you. That should ideally work as a motivation for you. I've seen people with minimal background, minimal educational part, and they've still been able to clear the exam in first attempt. Okay, so do not worry about that. Okay, any minimum quartiles that you need to clear. See, a lot of people are afraid that my book 2 is not good. See, I had a student, okay, I had already put his interview also. He got, I think so, around in book 1, 2, 3 and 4. He got 2, 4 and 2, 2. He cleared the exam. So he got fourth quartile in book 4. Sorry, book 2. But still he cleared the exam. So what, because the weightage is heavy over here. Okay, so what I'm trying to highlight is if you find book 1 or book 2 slightly tough, don't panic. Okay, even if out of 20 questions that you're going to get, okay, you are able to manage 50% of it, that is also going to help you to clear the exam. Okay, that is also going to help you to clear the exam. Okay, a lot of people find book 4 tough. Okay, so when you're revising, go and look at one section. So there is one bond valuation section. Okay, then there is VAR section. Reread that so that when you go to the exam, you might not make mistake that much. But yes, book 3, book 4, because of the weightage, they are more important. Okay, for your preparation. What should be the ideal score for each book? Second quartile in each book should be the ideal score. Darsh, while solving mocks, average time I complete a mock in 3 hours, so I should submit the test. No. So I think so. This could be one reason you're getting low marks. Okay, because you're in a hurry. Don't do that. Okay, read the option properly, read the question properly. You might change the options. Okay, and if you're getting completed in 3 hours, you'll obviously feel that okay, I should close and I should leave because it is becoming a lot of pressure. Okay, but I would not recommend that. Go slow. Also, it should not be 3 hours. Okay, on an average, people complete in 3 hours 30 minutes, and they get half an hour to revise or look at the questions. Okay. Nicheta, the formulas are too many, and can you give which one? Will definitely need to know. No, it is very difficult to highlight this, so I'm sorry, I cannot give you that specific information. But because see, even if I say this formula is important, it might come in the exam, but not specific to your. So it is very difficult to highlight that way. Okay. Akash, sir, which should we first solve mock papers or GAP sample paper? So you can solve the mock papers first, and then you can go and solve the GAP sample paper at the end, ideally. Okay. More of reading will help us. Ideally, reading, just don't read just like that. Understand it. Try to understand what is happening. Shravan, effective revision is thorough revision as the topic you marked important for each chapter. As I've always had a tendency to forget cons. Should be okay with GARP question paper. You need to definitely solve GARP sample paper. And with cons, the formula, I think so, that is what Shravan, you're facing challenge. So you can, when you read it every day, those challenges will go. So don't worry. Next one, I'm not able to finish the mock within 4 hours. There is always 10 to 15 questions. Now this is a time management problem. Okay, this might be because you have not solved a lot of questions and you are not able to gauge the time that is ideally needed. Okay, so in that case, you need to solve more mocks to get good understanding and good hang. If you're losing 3 to 4 questions is okay, but if you're losing 10 to 15 questions, that can be problematic. Paras, I have answered the query. No, so basically, I generally ask people to solve the GAP sample paper late. There's no specific order, but the purpose I do it because you've already solved some other paper and then you are solving something which is given by the institute. So it gives you more confidence. That is what I generally ask people. How many decimal places we need to set? It can be 4 or 5. You can change it in the exam. That's okay. It is not important. How do you analyze mock test for book-wise strength? See, you can obviously go and do deep dive over here and see, okay, out of 100 questions, how many questions from book 1, book 2, book 3, and do analysis. But that is okay. I don't only recommend you to focus on the GARP sample paper and or mock papers to go back and see what is your strength in individual books. That you will by default come to know when you are solving the chapter-wise questions. Dolly, how many questions are expected from each book? Okay, so book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4. 20, 20, 30 and 30. Okay, I've answered the query. I hope everybody is good till this point. Any other queries, guys? Approximately how many questions from binomial tree will be there, because it is very difficult to solve. See, ideally 1 question is what I expect. Okay, and in the previous exams they have given you 1-step binomial tree also. Okay, a lot of students, they have also highlighted that they didn't get any questions from option Greeks. So don't take any pressure of a particular chapter. Whatever you can understand, that's more than enough. There's no minimum score for the exam. The number that I said 55 to 60 is based on my experience. Ideal score should be 60. That is also again based on my experience. Right, Pratik? I hope all are good. If there is no other query, I'll close the session for today. Okay. Best of luck for your exam. Okay. Do not panic. Last 10 days are going to be very good. If you have holiday, maximum utilization should be there because you will be in the flow, reading all the content. You will be connecting the dots. Okay. So it will happen extensively. Okay. Enjoy the process. Okay. Don't be bogged down because of the exam, because you have paid 85,000. What will happen if I fail? Don't think that way. Okay, think that, okay, this is what I'm going to prepare in the remaining 10 days, 5 days, and I'm going to clear the exam. Your thought process should be that. Okay, don't take the pressure of that big fees that you're paying. Okay, that is a normal problem with the students, that okay, they feel my parents have paid this much money. It is true, but if you go with the pressure, you'll not be able to perform. Okay. Completed full syllabus but not solved many questions. Shreyas, this is slightly problematic. So what you can do is you can try to pick up important chapters from each book, and you can do only solving of those important chapters if you have time. Okay, or else just go and solve them all. Don't worry. I've seen also people without solving much, but still they've been able to clear. It all depends upon what is the understanding that you have. Okay, so you still have good chance. All good. Can you share the list of important chapters? I have already highlighted important concepts. There is a video on the YouTube. You can check that. There is important concepts video. Solve that important concept part, or focus on reading for those last 10 days. So should I leave one mock for last week? You can do it. Yes. So a lot of people are this last week itself. Now they're going to be solving one mock paper. That is okay. Don't worry. Can we get to solve swap? Yes, swap related question. They can ask you valuation of swap, but see, you have to be smart. You have to think it this way, that whether if I pick up this question, whether I'll be able to solve this question or not in that 2 minutes. If the answer is no, then don't do it now. Do it later. Okay, so nobody knows that at the end you might get good time and you might be able to solve that also. So again, it is slightly lengthy, but every question you are not expected to solve. You have to be smart in choosing the question also. Okay, is 3 mocks enough? Yes, you can also go for the exam with 2 mocks. That's not a problem. 3 is good enough. 2 Kaplan and 2 GARP mock. Yes, Kaplan mocks are slightly easy. Okay, so Paras, you can solve my mock also. Okay, and go and solve the exam. GARP may you can solve the latest one, either 2023, 2024. That is more than enough, because most of the questions are repeat, and you will realize it when you solve. Right? So if you like my content, like my video, do subscribe to the channel. Okay, and do hit a like button. Okay, share this video with your friends who are preparing for the exam, so that they'll get some guidance, because I know a lot of people, they prepare on their own. They're not, even my students also, sometimes they don't get the opportunity to talk to me, so they need mentoring, they need support in the last day. That's the reason I'm trying to come as much live as possible, okay, before the exam. So definitely best of luck. Do your well. Okay, do the exam properly. Okay, and do not take any pressure of the last few days. Okay, enjoy the entire process and go for the exam properly. Clear the exam, and this certification is going to change your career. I've seen people getting into good roles because of the certification, getting good opportunities. You can also get it. Okay, so do it properly, do your best. Thank you, and don't worry, I'm there if you need any problem, even if you're not my student. Okay, even if you're not my student, and on the day of the exam you're reaching center late, you're facing problem, drop me a message. I'll try to help you. Okay, so you're not alone. You're not alone. Okay, best of luck for your exam. Bye.